Welcome students in chemistry class. In this video, I am going to deal ICSE and CBSE class 8, 9 and 10th topic. The topic is acid. So let's see what is acid and what is the classification of acid. Topic is acid. You know that when you test lemon, when you test curd, when you test any citrus fruit, it taste is sour in taste. Why this is? Why we feel sour in taste when we taste mangoes, apples or some other foods? This is because of the presence of acid in the respective fruits or foods. Let tell you first that here acid, this term acid has came from the Latin name acidus. It has came from the Latin word acidus. The meaning of acidus is sour. You know that sour means khatta. You like to eat tamins. Khatta. That is what is present in tamin. Present is acid. You must know the another point of the acid is all the acids must contain ionizable hydrogen atom, or you can also say proton, PROTNH plus. All the acid must contain protons or ionizable hydrogen atom. This is I'm talking as already I told you that I'm talking or discussing the topic up to class 10th. There is another concept for the 11th and 12th. There are many acids which doesn't contain hydrogen or doesn't contain protons, but still they are acids. But I am not talking for the higher classes. This is for up to 10th. So question can come, what is acid? So you can say that acid is a compound which contains ionizable hydrogen atom. What it contains? Ionizable hydrogen atoms, or you can say it contains protons. And when acid is added to water, or when acid reacts with water, it produces hydronium ion, H3O plus ion. This is called hydronium ion. You can add in the definition. Acid is a compound which contains at least one replaceable hydrogen atom, and when it reacts with water, it produces a positively charged ion that is known as hydronium ion. So you must learn the definition of acid. Right? Have you understood? Okay, good. So move to the next point. As I said that acids may occur in nature, it is in fruits, it is in other kind of food, as well as acids can be prepared in laboratory. So in this video I am not going to explain preparation of acids in laboratory and or how it is prepared by using chemicals. Here I am going to deal only classification of acids and the naturally occurring acids. You know that lemon is sour in taste, and this is the characteristics of acid. When any fruits taste is sour, means there must be acid. So question can come, which acid is present in lemon? So answer will be citric acid. There are so many examples, it is given in the book. Some I am reading, you just see like acetic acid. It is present in vinegar. Every houses, in every kitchen there is vinegar, but you don't know which acid is present. So you should know that there is which acid? Acetic acid. Urine, you're familiar with this word. Urine contains acid. Which acid is contained? It contains uric acid. There are more example. Teacher or any physicians or doctors suggest you to take every day 1 apple. Or no, if you are unable to buy apple, you can take 1 tomato. You know that nowadays apple and tomato both cost is same, so you can take any one, at least 1 apple or 1 tomato you take in the morning, because it contains acids, and as well as it contains antitoxin, which kills toxin which is present in our body. So which acid is present in apple? This question can come. So your answer will be, it contains malic acid. Everyone, mostly boys, likes milk, curd. So I think you are not knowing which acid is present in milk, which acid is present in curd. So milk, it contains lactic acid. You know that when we take more food, when we go to the party, when we get a free of cost food, or whenever you go to the birthday party or any kind of party, you take more food. अरे चलो फ्री का है, ले लेते हैं, खा लेते हैं. And after that you feel like something happens in your stomach. You know what? Because your stomach, in your stomach, you have studied in the biology, intestine, small intestine, or kinds of body parts. So there is the formation of acid, and we said dhakar aa raha hai, that is a kind of word we use for that. So why it is happening? Because of the formation of gastric juice in our body, in our stomach. And that gastric juice contains acid. And which acid it is? It is hydrochloric acid. So this question can come, which acid is present in gastric juice? So answer will be hydrochloric acid. One more thing I want to tell you, whenever you feel like this acidity, you go for or some medicines, and that medicine contains base. When acid and base reacts, it gives salt and water. So one more term I'm going to add here. When acid reacts with base, it gives salt plus water. You must know this. That's why I spoke so many things to tell you that when acid reacts with base, it gives salt and water. So again you add in the definition. Acid is a compound which contains at least one or more replaceable or ionizable hydrogen atom, and when it reacts with base, it gives salt and water. Or you also can say, when acid or water is added to acid, or when acid reacts with water, it gives only positively charged ion, that is hydronium ion. So this is the nature of acid, or you can say characteristics of acid. So here the definition and introduction of acid topic is over. Now we'll see classification of acids. There are many classifications that I'm going to explain one by one. Classification of acid, or you can say acids. There are many classifications. The first classification is classified, I'm writing a top, on the basis of. On the basis of. First, on the basis of sources. It is classified on the basis of source. मतलब कहाँ से मिल रहा है, from where we are getting acids. So that is called sources. It occurs from two sources. The first is according to sources, it is classified into two. That is called organic acid. That is called organic acid, and another is inorganic acid. Right? Organic acid occur from living things. It occurs from living things. And inorganic occur from non living things. This is the difference from where it occurred. So these are the sources. Sources is living things for organic acid. Sources for inorganic acid is non-living things. One more thing you must know, that organic acids are weak acids. Organic acids are weak acids and inorganic acids are strong acid. This question can come. Inorganic acid is also known as mineral acid. It is also called mineral acid because these all acids contain minerals. Minerals, you know, that iron, then other kind of minerals which are beneficial for us. So that's why it is called mineral acid. It occurred from the rock, it's occurred from the soil erosion, or from the minerals. So example, now I'm going to write example. Mineral acid is hydrochloric acid, nitric acid, HNO3, sulfuric acid, H2SO4. Then more examples are phosphoric acid, H3PO4, carbonic acid, H2CO3. There are many more examples like hydrogen bromide, etc. These all are examples of inorganic acid. But one more thing you have to know from this classification is all organic acid must contain carbon. All organic acid, okay, I'm going to repeat the same. All organic acid must contains carbon. Inorganic acid, it may or may not. Most in the cases it doesn't contain carbon, but all organic acid contains carbon. See the example. Formic acid, ACOOH, having carbon. Acetic acid, CH3COOH, acetic acid. Okay, there are many more examples that you have to go through from the book. One more thing I want to tell you, that as I said that organic acids are weak acid and inorganic acids are strong acid, but there is one exception, carbonic acid. See, this carbonic acid contains carbons. This is an exception. Generally, you can see that all inorganic acid only carbonic acid contains carbon. As I said that all inorganic acids are strong acid except carbonic acid. This is weak acid. You must mark this. Why it is weak acid? Because it contains ions as well as molecules. When question can come, why mineral acids are strong acids, so you write there, because mineral acids contains only ions. Why organic acids are weak acid? Because they contains ions as well as molecules. Similarly, carbonic acid is weak acid. It means it contains ions as well as molecules. So I hope I am clear with this topic. Now I am going to move to the another classification, that is on the basis of basicity. On the basis of basicity. So we'll try to understand what is basicity. I am going to remove this part. What is basicity? This is the second classification of basicity. So we'll try to understand what is basicity. Basicity means number of hydronium ion is furnished by, number of hydronium ion is furnished by one molecule of that acid. It means how many hydronium ion is furnished or produced by one molecule of that acid. It is known as basicity of the acid. One example I am giving. Then I'll do the further classification on the basicity. Like example, HCl. It is an acid. When it reacts with water, then writing in this way, HOH. In chapter 2 we have studied that oxygen have lone pair electron, and as we know from the chapter 1, Cl is more electronegative. So what it will do? It will attract the electron pairs towards Cl. As we know that one bond there are two electrons. So this electron is going towards chlorine, means after transferring electrons, hydrogen contain plus charge, right? It contain plus charge, and this is will change into Cl minus. I'm talking for the HCl. At the same time, this oxygen having extra electron, that is called lone pair electron, that is also called free electrons, which does not take part in the bonding, that is called lone pair electron. So this pair of electron is given to H plus. So what is forming here? Here is forming H3O plus, right? And here Cl minus is going out. So you can see from this reaction, in HCl there is one ionizable hydrogen. This is why it has one hydronium ion. It means we can say that HCl is monobasic acid. According to the according to the number of hydronium ion is prepared or formed or furnished by an acid. Acids are called monobasic, dibasic or tribasic. So the classification of basicity is, I'm writing here, it is monobasic, or you can say monobasicity. Second, I am writing, there is no place, I am just writing here, that is called dibasicity. And third, I am writing here, that is tribasicity or tribasic acid. You can also say, okay, you can say tribasicity or you can say tribasic acid. Now mono means how many hydronium ion will give here? It will give one hydronium ion. In dibasic, how many hydronium ion here will give? Here will give two hydronium ion. In tribasic, it will give more than 3 or 3 hydronium ion when that acid is react with water. The same concept will apply for all. If it is giving 1 hydronium ion, it is called monobasic. If it is giving 2, it is called di. If it is giving 3, it is called tribasic acids. An explanation will be the same for all. So just I am going to write examples of monobasic acid. Examples are HCl, HNO3, HBr, HI. These all are monobasic acid. Acetic acid, you can see here, just one mark here. There are so many hydrogens, there are 4 hydrogens, but only one hydrogen is replaceable from here. Only this H will be replaced. This is contain one ionizable hydrogen. That's why acetic acid is monobasic acid. There are so many hydrogens. There are 4 hydrogens. It doesn't matter there are how many hydrogens. It's matter how many hydrogen are ionizable. This is the main point. Now we'll see the dibasicity example. Sulfuric acid is dibasic acid. Carbonic acid is dibasic acid. These are example of dibasic acid. So you must remember one more example I'm writing. H3PO3 is a dibasic acid. There are 3 hydrogen but only 2 are ionizable. So this is in the category of dibasic acid. Now third is tribasic. It means there will be 3 hydrogen atom. Then sorry, here will be H3PO2. Sorry, there is a mistake. You mark here H3PO3. No, I have written correct. H3PO3. And tribasic acid example is H3PO4. It means it will give 3 hydronium ions. So the explanation will be same. You have to do the same explanation as HCl, then you can take their HNO3, H2O. Here you can take H2SO4, then H2O. So here will be 2 hydronium ion when it react with water. Similarly, when H3PO4 react with water, it produces 3 hydronium ion, means it is tribasic acid. Right? So question can come, why H2SO4 is a dibasic acid? So answer will be it gives 2 hydronium ion when react with water. You can also say it has 2 replaceable hydrogen ion, and when it reacts with water it gives 2 hydronium ions. This is why H2SO4 is a dibasic acid. And same way there may be many questions can be asked from this topic. So first is what is basicity, and then is the classification. So these many classifications are given in your book. I hope you have understood this, all the classification whatever is given. One more I can tell you that one example is given H4SiO4. H4SiO4 silicic acid, it is a tetra. It is a tetra basicity. Its basicity is 4. So question can come, give example which shows tetra basicity. This is up to 10th. I am talking about up to 10. Now one more thing I want to tell you that one more category is classified on the basis of concentration. You know that you are familiar with this topic, that is concentrated acid and dilute acid. Concentrated acid means which contains more amount of acid in compared to concentration of water. That is called concentrated. And dilute means the concentration of you can say amount of water is more as compared to the amount of acid in that solution. That is called dilute acid. One more thing you have to know here, that which acid is strong, dilute acid or concentrated acid. So you must know that dilute acid is strong acid. Why? Question can come, why it is strong acid? Because in dilute acid, if there is more water is added, it means it contains high concentration of hydronium ion. One more thing you keep it in mind, that the strongness of an acid is marked according to the presence of a number of hydronium ion is furnished. If more hydronium ion is furnished or more hydronium ion is present in the solution, means it is more acidic. So you can say that dilute acid is more acidic than concentrated acid, because when we add more water, it gives more concentration of hydronium ion. So you remember that after time to time we add distilled water in a battery, in inverter battery, to produce more number of ions, hydronium ions. So this is why we put distilled water in battery time to time. One more question can come from here, that why, this one you try to understand. This question is very popular and will come. You have taken a jar, 2 jar. In one jar there is taken acid and another jar is taken is water. Here you are adding water and here you are adding acid. Which is right method? Which method is right to make acid dilute? So this is wrong method, this is right method. So question can come, why water is never added to acid? Why water is never added to acid in order to dilute it? Question can come, why water is not added to acid in order to dilute it? This question can come. So very simple answer, because it is an exothermic process, and you know that exothermic means it produces large amount of heat, and during addition acid may change into vapor, and that vapor may fatal for the person, or it can also happen that this apparatus may break, and this is the reason water is never added to acid. So we always add acid to water, and with continuous stirring. With continuous stirring, when we add acid, ऐसे नहीं कि डाल देना ऐसे करो, धीरे धीरे slow drop है, and we have to stir it. Otherwise, same process can be possible here if large amount of acid will add at a time. So you must remember, this question is very important question. Water is never added to acid in order to dilute it. Reason already I said. So classification and general information for the acid is completed. This is the first part of acid chapter. Very soon I'll provide the second part of this chapter, and in that video we'll study how to prepare acid and what are the chemical, physical and chemical properties of acids. So I hope you have understood. Must go through line by line. You can follow your book NCERT or your whatever book is preferred by your school. And if any doubt regarding this topic, you can ask me on Instagram or Facebook, or you can comment it on my channel Sachitometry on YouTube. So I'm going to conclude this class here. I hope you will enjoy, you all enjoy watching my video, this channel Sachitometry. Thank you. Hope for the best for your future. Thank you all of you. Good day.